Welcome as we take a look at the Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, I'm a little late on this despite being a Nintendo fan for, gosh, I don't even know how many years. I was right there in 1984 for the original Nintendo. I finally made a decision this weekend to go ahead and update our original Nintendo Switch 1 to the Nintendo Switch 2. Get it updated, get it in line, take advantage of actually contemporary video capabilities and performance and power and all of that. So in this video, we're just going to basically take a look here, open it up, just kind of a little freeform. Almost did this as a live, but just decided my son and I here to do it together, observe, compare, contrast, Switch 1 to Switch 2, and then we'll get this thing running over in the living room install. Open these up, take a look here. So we have our Joy-Cons, left and right Joy-Cons, of course. I'm hoping this is a nice solid upgrade to the Switch 1.
Bigger.
Overall, I think they feel bigger. Well, let's take a look.
Bigger.
So if we disconnect the original Joy-Cons, let's take a look.
Can I see that one?
So if anybody has questions and stuff,
bigger.
Post them in the comments. We can come back and answer them, but we'll take a look at these as they go. Oh yeah, they're quite a bit bigger. So if we take a look there, a little hard to see. If I put these bottom to bottom, that's a good ½ inch or more, maybe taller. Yeah, these feel a little bit nicer, I would say. Buttons, bigger buttons, stronger feeling buttons, a little better feel on the stick.
These buttons are a lot easier to press.
Oh, if you're going to do it sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have Pro controllers. I almost never, ever play with the Switch outside of its dock. You do sometimes.
Yeah.
Very, very rarely, though. And we almost never use the Joy-Cons anyway. We have 4 Pro controllers. We're using the Pro controllers. I understand, or we saw at the store actually, that the Switch 2 Pro controller is also an upgrade to the Switch 1 Pro controller. It has the extra buttons on the back and looks like it has some other nice upgrades and stuff. So I think we will probably be buying at least one new Pro controller. And the other thing that we figured out, or we learned actually just by Googling for the differences and seeing what people had to say, apparently the original Pro controllers can't wake up the system in the dock. So we need to be able to power the system on away from the system. It'll actually be behind the TV, and when we upgrade to the full-size 98-inch TV, this might not even be accessible without pulling the TV out. So the Switch 1 Pro controllers cannot wake the system from sleep when docked and connected to a TV. That is kind of a bummer. So there's the unit. Let's take a look through the rest of the bits and pieces first here. So what do we got? Some cabling. There's this HDMI cable. Yeah, nice. So we got an HDMI cable if you want to dock in. We've got wrist straps for the Joy-Cons. How do these go on? They actually go on the inside?
This part is new. Has a button.
Oh, interesting. Hold it up a little bit more.
Or the other way. Yeah, like that. See? This button knocks it off. How fun.
Yeah. Alright, so we got a little release mechanism there. These were the Joy-Con baggies. Put these back away. These were probably won't be using this HDMI cable. Of course, I have my preferable other brands of cables, Infinite cables, RUI Pro cables, and other things that we use. So we do get the handheld. You were wondering if this was in there. So the little handheld attachment, you can go ahead and put them on there. Hold it kind of up in the middle.
See?
Oh yeah, so it is magnetic. So
these are a separate attachment.
So you do have a little bit of the mini controller thing. I don't remember if that was included in the box. We just have the Switch 1 here. We didn't actually bring up the all of the other contents and stuff. I will be selling the Switch 1 also once we get this one all configured and logged into our account and everything. We won't be keeping the Switch 1.
Instead of the small buttons, it's these as the release mechanism.
Release mechanism. I think that works a little bit better. Alright, so what do we got here? Oh wow, big old power brick.
Oh, that one's big.
Big old power brick for the base. So I think I don't know, I should have done a little bit more research, I guess. I don't remember what the wattage that this thing is pulling, but I do understand that the Switch 2 in docked mode pulls a good bit more power, I believe, than the Switch 1. Of course, lending to higher fidelity, performance, and graphics capability and all of that. So this looks like a USB-C power brick. That's a hefty power brick. And then we have the cable. Looks like the cable for that brick here, which is just basically a USB-C cable. So you might need to be careful, I guess. Use the included stuff if you're connecting your dock and expecting to run it with all of the power and fidelity that you would expect it to be able to get. So yeah, this is USB-C, plugs into the power brick, no problem. And then this should be our dock. Open that up. This should be our dock. What was in here? Okay, this was the thing. This actually isn't too bad, I guess. If you had to.
Don't grab the other dock.
I guess for the families out there, for the kids, you can kind of compare these a little bit. Including this is nice. It gives the ability to put it in the dock, put the Joy-Cons on here, and feel like you're playing with the controller. If the kid or mom and dad are not going to spend the money on a Pro controller, because it's no joke. I mean, the Switch 2 Pro controllers, what were they? They were 90 bucks, I think.
Something like that.
90 bucks at Best Buy. Maybe there'll be a Black Friday deal or something like that to buy a couple of them. We need to get at least one ourselves because we know we need to. I don't remember where this was in the box. All right, we'll figure that out. All right. We know we need to have one at least to turn the thing on, and he and I game the most in the household, so more than likely we'll get 2 of the new Pro controllers, and then we'll at least have those. So let's kind of hold these up a little bit. This is definitely beefier. So if you take a look, yeah, it's rounded actually. So what do we got? Maybe about another inch wide, about a 1/4 inch taller, give or take. Depth-wise, it's about the same. So you got the Switch 2 logo on the front there. We got some nice rubberized feet. Appreciate that. The other one had them as well. There's a little ventilation on the bottom, so that'll fit right in there. And then I wonder if this has to open up. Oh wait, cables on the side. 2 USB-A's on one side. We've got an outlet for cables on this side. So this, okay, there we go. That just pops right off. And then what are we looking at? Oh man, Ethernet. Gotta love it. Ethernet port. So the old Switch had HDMI, USB-A, and then the power adapter connection. So we were using this U-Green wired Ethernet adapter in order to be wired. Now we don't need that. Got a LAN port. Hopefully it's gigabit. HDMI, and then the USB-C for the power adapter. I think I might have liked the old one a little bit better, where the door, in the old one, the door is attached, so it doesn't kind of come off. It just works a little bit simpler. So this one pops off pretty easy. Now we have our 3 ports in there. So that's great. We have LAN drops behind the TV, so we will be wiring this in via wired Ethernet, and we no longer need to use a adapter for that. So there'll be less hanging off essentially. So there'll be 3 cables coming out the back, HDMI power and LAN. All right, let's fire this guy up. Open this up here. So here's the main event. I think I have seen some disappointment around online about like the screen quality and stuff. I think compared to the latest version of the Switch 1, the OLED display.
Yeah, it's definitely bigger.
Wow, it's way bigger. All right, let me see if I can hold these up in a way that compares them side by side. That gives a nice comparison. Wow, so that's huge. So that just clipped in there. Go ahead and clip that one right in. So again, I like this. So do they pull out? No.
No,
so you release.
These ones, they come up.
There's like a push, but I think that is magnetized. Wow, this
yeah, they are.
This feels nicer. I will say right off the bat, this feels more premium.
Can I see it?
Even if the display technology maybe isn't.
It feels bigger.
Up to snuff in the same way.
It has grippies on the back and it has a good stand.
Oh, that's nice. So the stand goes the whole width of the back, whereas there was just this little kind of like pogo stand over on the other one. All right, so let's take a look along the top. We've got a power button. That should be volume control. Ventilations. We got a USB-C port on the top. We got a headphone jack on the top. A little flap. It's hard to show this off. So there's all our I/O. We have a little game flap for the game card. I do not recommend buying physical games anymore. Digital games or bust totally for me. It's kind of weird how this is. It like, oh, it comes up out of the way. So you toss your game card in there, and then that closes up on it. And then on the bottom, got a USB-C port on the bottom. Okay, yep, so it is. So just like last time, the memory card goes under the back, and you do need, of course, you need a new memory card type. It's micro SD Express now, faster cards. I think the way that they recommend it is if you use the same cards that are in the Switch 1, you can store stuff on them, but you can't play games off of them. You need the micro SD Express card in order to have the bandwidth to play the game. Best Buy, we did go to Best Buy to pick this up. They were readily in stock there, and we did get the combo pack, which has the digital download. Again, I don't want any physical games. It has the digital download for Mario Kart World. And we tried to buy a SanDisk, I think was the brand, $120 thereabouts for a 512 gig micro SD Express card. According to Best Buy's webpage, they were in stock in the store, but we looked around, we couldn't find them. The guys couldn't find them. So they did a home delivery. We walked out of the store with the Switch. They did a home delivery for the SD card, which was supposed to be delivering sometime today. It hasn't come yet, but it's out for delivery as we speak. And I believe that this also has 256 gig of internal storage, which is pretty nice. So you can actually get a decent number of games in here as it is. So the 256 plus the 512 give us 3/4 of a terabyte of game storage. So what do you think?
It's bigger.
Bigger's
Yeah.
better?
I don't know. Sometimes not. I like the colors.
Like the colors? Yeah.
And these.
That wasn't really a choice at the store, right? Or was the one without Mario different colored? I don't remember.
Yes. The entire thing was red and the entire thing was blue.
Oh,
But I
okay.
think I kind of like it like this.
Yeah, just the lighter colors. Pro controllers are only available in one color, black, and then now the new ones have the gray and stuff on them as well. So we did fire this up. We are at the screens to go ahead and go through the setup. It looks like, according to the dots anyway, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different setup options. First one is language, so of course we're going to go English. Actually, tell them about what you just discovered while we were offline.
It has a mouse feature. If you put it like this, you move it around, there's a mouse.
Pretty interesting. I don't think the Switch 1 did that, but with the attachments,
It did not.
Yeah, with the attachments on, you see the mouse moving around on the screen. Both of them do it, right? They both control it.
And you can do two at the same time.
Interesting. It just takes a second to kind of click in. Okay, let's go with English US as our language, region, Americas, and our end user license agreement. Of course, we're not going to read all of the legalese. We will accept and hit next. Let's connect to the internet. All right, internet settings. It'd be cool now. I'm kind of curious, since our Switch 1 is sitting here and it's turned on, like Apple devices and other things can do. Can it download information and understand what's happening from the other system? Doesn't look like it's doing it. So I'm not going to show this here, of course. I'm going to log into my Wi-Fi. Screen looks good so far. I don't have any problems with the screen.
It's a lot taller.
Yeah, bigger screen. I like it. I like the size. Okay, please don't, careful not to hit while I'm typing and doing stuff on here. All right, system, wireless network, internet connection successful. Great. Let's move forward in our setup here.
Can I try clicking this? Let's see.
Yeah, go ahead. About to download, update data. Next. Time zone. All right,
the bumper is click.
We gotta get our time zone. New York. With Nintendo Switch 2, you can play games wherever you want, whoever you want. Next. You can adjust the stand to get the best viewing angle, and this thing is very adjustable. That's
It's a good stand.
AC adapter can plug into the top connector or in the dock. Detach the Joy-Con 2 controllers as shown. Of course, we've already seen that. We have the release button. Pull to the side. Do you want to connect to a TV and play on a larger screen? We'll do that later. You can use the accessories that came with the system to hold the Joy-Con 2 controllers in multiple ways. All right, downloading update data. Once ready, the system will update and restart. We got about a minute left, 93%. Going fast. Oh, and while we were offline there, Best Buy came, so we have our card. This is a SanDisk Micro SD Express card. Like I said, 512. It was like 110 bucks or so for the card. Of course, $4.99 for the system. System update complete. Awesome. Okay, okay, here we go. If you have a Nintendo Switch, you can transfer data from your Nintendo Switch to this Nintendo Switch 2. Here, about system transfers. When you transfer systems, your data will be copied from one system to the next, so you can easily pick up playing where you left off. Not all data will be transferred. Data that will transfer: users, save data, screenshots and videos, system settings. Data that won't transfer: news. Okay. Visit the Nintendo support webpage for more details. I think we should probably just do this. This will probably be faster.
Yeah.
So start system transfer. Before starting a system transfer, if you have a micro SD express memory card, insert it. We do, and this is a very confusing box. We have to decimate the box to get this open.
Like it.
It doesn't matter, we don't need the box anymore.
What if other people want to keep their boxes?
Yeah. When the time comes that we actually sell this, it'll get sold with the Switch. And this card will probably never come out of the Switch either. Jeez. Alright, there's that. Set this over here. Our knife, pop this out. Oop. Careful how you grab it. Nice little card. Again, so we didn't get a model number on the card, but make sure that you look for SD Express. Okay, click it in. You should hear it pop and click. You can use this micro SD card once the system updates. I thought I already did that. Okay. Updating. The system will restart once the update is complete. So, black screen.
All the updates are like very fast.
They are really fast. That's nice. The micro SD card can now be used. Please continue without ejecting the card. We're not going to eject it.
Can I have that?
Switch this.
Yeah.
All right, so again, this is all unscripted. So system transfer, first sign into your Nintendo account. We do have a Nintendo account. We do subscribe to like the Nintendo yearly thing for the online game saves and stuff like that. Sign in with the QR code. I'll just key this in here. It's actually nicer to hold it without without those on. Nintendo account user agreement and privacy policy have been updated. I agree. Sign my life away to Nintendo. System transfer, signed into your Nintendo account. There I am. Move the system and the source close together to transfer data. This is great. I really like when you upgrade something in an ecosystem and it makes it nice and easy. Connect an AC adapter to start downloading data. Just enough if I hold it over here. This can go in the top, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the bottom too.
Move this system. Yeah, there's one. Oh, that's for the dock. Move this system and the source Nintendo Switch close together. They are. Please do the following on the source Nintendo Switch system. Open the home menu. And then select System Settings, System Transfer. System Transfer. Oh, there it is. System Transfer to Nintendo Switch 2. Continue the setup process until you see searching for the Nintendo Switch 2. The system's data will be transferred to a Nintendo Switch 2 system. To complete the transfer, you will need an internet connection and a Nintendo account. We have both. Next. You can keep playing compatible Nintendo Switch software on the Switch 2 system, hopefully with awesome upgrades to actually run in 4K on the TV and all of that stuff. Okay. As I understand it, I think compatibility is really, really good, and the upgrades are tangible. All right, make sure your Nintendo Switch 2 system is nearby. Done. System transfer. By starting a system transfer, you agree to the following. Other users' data will be transferred along with the system data. Yeah, that's fine. The only users is our family. Users who have not linked a Nintendo account will be removed from this system and transferred to the Nintendo Switch 2 system. That's fine. We have 4 users for our 4 family members. Connect the AC adapter before starting the system transfer process. So the power bricks are too big. We couldn't fit them both in, but we have. Okay, what does it say?
Searching, it found one.
Okay, here we go. But we have outlets on both sides of our island. Here, sit back in here with me. All right, connected to the Nintendo Switch system, data will now be received. Start download. Please wait, we got a spinning. Okay, here we go. Downloading data, calculating time left. The system will restart during this process. Sending, save data. So this is just, I'm presuming it's using our Wi-Fi. Calculating time left, 1%, 5%. So this should be pretty quick. We're looking at 3:03. It's a Sunday here. Still calculating time left.
It's technically 3:01.
Oh yeah, that one's a little fast. 7 minutes left. So we're gonna cut and we'll we'll fast forward time until this transfer process is complete. All right, and we're back. So it's been only been about 5 minutes or so. 99%, 1 minute left. Oh, you were talking about how when the stand is out, this is it's more grippy. It's grippy on the table, whereas
this one, I don't think you can see it.
I think that's a lot. I think the original Switch is a lot easier. Set it down while it's doing the transfer, please. But I think it's a lot easier to knock that one over or knock it around than this one. This whole thing feels nicer. It's got like a more softer touch material to it as well, I think.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing is more premium.
I like the stand.
Yeah, the whole back stand is definitely a major improvement. System transfer, setting the system up, 80%, 86.
It doesn't matter which Joy-Con you put these on. The blue one can go on the red one. It's just the rotation. There's a minus and a plus.
So you can mix and match as you like. All right, system transfer complete. The downloadable software will be re-downloaded later. Okay, I was curious if it was going to actually transfer the games or not, or the data. The theme color from the source system will be carried over. I don't even remember setting that before. Setup complete. To go to the home menu, press the home button. That's down here. Little music playing. There's our 4 user icons of filling in the home screen. And we're live. Yep, all the games that we had loaded. So what do we got? Heave Ho, Snipper Clips. So my older eyes definitely appreciate the bigger screen. Let's go through, while the games are downloading, let's just go through some of the options quick. System settings. What do we got? Sport, health, and safety, airplane mode, screen brightness, auto brightness is good, Bluetooth audio, internet, we're already here. I want to test this connection relatively, because I think this is hopefully newer generation Wi-Fi, faster Wi-Fi. I think that one speed tested at like 40 something megabit and like 19 megabit download upload when I just did it after we reconnected it. Yeah, 133 megabit download. Upload is still going 17.3. So upload's about the same. That's pretty much more limited by our internet connection, but we got almost 2.5 times faster download speed. That's great. Appreciate that. Parental controls, accessibility. All right, data management, system memory, free space, 229 gigabytes. So that's great. Again, the original Switch 1 really didn't have the ability to store much of anything on it. You had to buy a memory card. So you could probably use this for quite a while with 256 gig. But now we have also the SD card installed, 453 gigabyte remaining free space. So in data management, we have some options to move stuff around, quick delete, save data, save cloud data, transfer your saved data, etc. Controllers and accessories, change grip order, buttons, controller vibration, update controllers. Let's see if that does anything. Updating controller, don't touch any buttons. So it's updating the right Joy-Con, I think.
That was fast.
Updating the left Joy-Con. Joy-Con 2 mouse controls. There you go. You can turn the mouse controls off. There's a mouse sensitivity. Update Nintendo Switch 2 camera. Okay, there's no camera connected. I wonder if that's a peripheral you can buy. Calibrate, test input devices. Okay, that's good there. Audio.
You can swap A and B.
Yeah, swap A and B. Changes A presses into B inputs and B presses into A inputs. And Nintendo in their infinite wisdom with the BA versus the AB. Audio output source, TV sound. Okay, we'll end up hooking this up on the dock here in a little bit.
Is there one that switches X and Y?
Microphone, yeah. You need to switch them both, that's true.
Yeah.
Display, all right, HDR, awesome. HDR output is turned on. TV resolution is automatic, but supports up to 4K. There is a dock output info, that's great. RGB range can be automatic. Adjust screen size, that's when we get connected to the TV. Screen burn-in reduction. Match TV power state, CEC control, stuff like that. 120 hertz output, awesome. Outputs video at 120 hertz when supported both TV and software. 120 hertz video is supported at 1080p and 1440p TV resolutions. I have to do some research as well, looking at some of the games to see, I guess, performance or fidelity mode, stuff like that. Auto low latency mode, cool. HDR output for all software, compatible software only or off. So it must have some type of auto HDR capability. And then there is an adjust HDR, that's great. So there's calibration capability. Mii's, that's fine. Amiibos, we don't really use those. Themes, basic light, basic dark. I think we should go with, keep it dark.
What do we have for this one?
I think it's on dark. Wait, did it?
It said let everything.
Okay, it's all done.
over
Right.
there.
So we'll have to wipe everything off of that. Right, sleep mode, auto sleep, playing on system screen. 10 minutes is fine. Connected to the TV 1 hour.
That seems like a long time.
Yeah, play wake up sound in TV mode normal. Wake up when AC power is disconnected, so if you pull it off the dock. All right, system update, I'm just going to do one more check. We are running 20.5.0. System is up to date. Dock update, we'll have to do that when we get connected to the TV. System nickname, awesome. I called the other switch 1, and I called this one switch 2. I don't know if it just automatically enumerated that or if it manually unlock system, screen after sleep mode, language, region, date and time, we're good there, 3:12 p.m. on a Sunday. Battery percentage, stop charging around 90, shortens the amount of time the system can be used when unplugged, but can help reduce loss of battery capacity over time. Doesn't really matter for us. And then we've got serial number information, software auto updates, 100%, and then data clear options to reset. So that's all of our settings. All right, so we're gonna get some things set up here. We're gonna get this prepped over to get docked up to the television and living room. We'll be right back. Right there, onto the back of the dock. And then this one, yeah, this will go right up in here. HDMI 3 on the TV. Once we get it set, it'll stop falling over. Power cable goes right in here. All right, plug this in right here.
Let's hope it can see it.
Yeah, might need to angle it down a little bit more. Just let these hang. Let me get some Velcro strips. All right, so I'm just trying to loop this up a good bit here so that the cable slack doesn't hang down in front of the TV. This is the benefit of having the hide-up mount, because then all of the cable would be guaranteed to be behind the screen and out of sight. Oh, there we go. Okay, so they're all coming out the bottom right. All right, let's get this just set right in here, nice and easy. Boom, should see it. Okay, go into dock mode, that's great.
Oh yeah, you can see the cables.
Yeah, for now, it is what it is, it's fine. All right, so we're docked in. Again, power, Ethernet, HDMI to the TV. We already had a Nintendo Switch in our Control 4 configuration. Boom, right there. So we should be able to turn this on and get right to it.
Ba-da-dum.
Picture quality. Oh yeah, so the settings on the LG were for the Switch 1. I'm gonna have to change all the settings. Turn off it. Now it's a 4K HDR source, not a 1080p source. All right, to provide an optimized picture quality, the Ultra HD Deep Color will be turned on. Of course, that's what we want. Okay. Give it a second, let it reconnect. Boom, HDR. The connected TV supports HDR. If you set up HDR, game visuals will be enhanced. Yes, we want that. So we're gonna do we can do the HDR setup, the slider setup. This is pretty common for all the game consoles and whatever. Adjust the display until the pattern on the left is visible and the pattern on the right isn't. I think we're good about right there.
Yeah, I can see the one on the left, but not the one on the right.
Yeah, that's what we want. All right, this is how the brightness will look during gameplay. Great. Display adjustments complete. Great. Let's go into our settings. And you want to do all this stuff when you're setting your thing up. I think it was under System Dock Update. All right, dock firmware is already up to date. And we want to go to both audio. Audio output source is automatic. TV sound. We just want stereo. So we have a two channel audio system in here. These big full range speakers and everything. But we can just leave this as automatic. It should work fine. I do want to do this here. So HDR is turned on. Resolution, automatic. Dock output info. So we're at 4K, 60. Outputting HDR. Refresh rate possible at this resolution, 60 Hertz. So again, you have to go lower resolution to get higher. I think RGB range, all this stuff can be kind of automatic. Screen size, looking good. Filling 100% to the corners. This is an 83-inch LG G2 for now. Screen burn and reduction, reduces brightness after 5 minutes. That's probably fine. We don't need CEC turned on. We'll have to play around with 120 Hertz output. We do have a dedicated input here. We can leave ALM on, but this HDMI input of the TV will always be set for game mode anyway, and we will HDR for all software. Sweet. We are looking great. There we are. Nintendo Switch 2, 4K HDR. Gotta love that. All right, so we'll leave this here. Thanks for hanging out with us as we set up and kind of explored the new Nintendo Switch 2 relative to the Switch 1. Got it hooked up in our living room system. We're ready to game, so I'm really eager to fire some stuff up, take a look at the differences. I don't know if we'll actually go to the point of hooking both systems up and really do a hard A/B comparison. I hope that the quality difference of the Switch 2 is just instantly noticeable over the Switch 1, make it feel like the price and the buy-in and all of that was justified. We will pick up probably at least one or two of the new Pro controllers, and then that's it. I think we're all set from that point. We have the storage, we have the system, we have the dock, and we're ready to play. Thanks for watching, and of course, if I can help you out with any of your audio, video, and entertainment, home theater setups and whatnot, I am a dealer, reseller, integrator for a whole bunch of audio, video, and home theater brands, including a whole bunch of the stuff that I really like and talk about here on the channel. Stuff like Kaleidoscape, Full Cal speakers, LG TVs, JVC, Panamorph, Seymour & Stewart screens, SVS, I can access Denon Marantz, Epson, Sony, and a whole lot more. Email me, jeremy@techthusiasm.net, or go to www.techthusiasm.com. My dealer info is there, a brand listing. However, don't just be limited to the brand listing. So I can generally access a whole lot more than I even have listed on the webpage. Reach out, get in touch, happy to advise, consult, and all of that. And if you like my content, it's helpful to you, it's inspiring, etc., I would really appreciate the opportunity to win your business. If you'd like to help me a little more simply, I have affiliate links in the description of all the videos and on the webpage as well. Amazon, Target, Walmart, Audio Advice, Crutchfield, eBay, apparel stores, and more. Please use those in your regular shopping, especially for holiday time. And I welcome everybody. Become a channel member, and I always appreciate super thanks, PayPal, Venmo tips, and the like. And lastly, please do that regular YouTube stuff. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, share the video, and leave a comment. Did you buy a Switch 2? How do you feel about the Switch 2 compared to the Switch 1 if you had both? What are you thinking? Are you enjoying it? Is it worth it? Sound off in the comments. Let's have a discussion. I definitely want to hear what folks have to say. Thanks for watching. Coming back for more home theater discussion and fun.